What up, YouTube? Sorry for the huge delay, but it's definitely kind of good to be back. So this last few months I've been kind of working on this game. So it's highly inspired. So what I did was I did some training, all right? And during this training, the army training that is, we played a lot of this one game called Flux. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's in a small box, and pretty much what you do with it is you play it to the point where you just draw a card, play a card, very, very basic rules. But you can change the rules, and you're trying to get all these keepers, and by the, I don't know, probably about the 15th time I've played it, I was like, man, I kind of know almost all the cards, so I'm trying to plan all these strategies, and I was like, oh, this is so much fun. So the idea kind of came up, I need to make a small card game, and I kind of did that. I wanted to make a small enough card game to where you play the game, you kind of start to memorize the cards, and you start to kind of think of good strategies, maybe play this card to do this and that, and then I talked to a buddy of mine who's also into card games and board games, and he was thinking almost the same thing. He was saying, hey, you know what, that would be a cool idea, and then he gave me the seed. He said, I like a card game, and more specifically, a game with options, or a card with options. And I was like, card with options. So anyways, without further ado, I'm talking about this game right here, Retro Rumble. Alrighty, so here we have Retro Rumble. So again, as I kind of previously stated, it is a two-player game, a dueling card game, very familiar to, very similar to like Yu-Gi-Oh style kind of game. And I would say, I think when I was coming up with it, it was a lot like War. So, you know, the best number beats all, but it uses some TCG mechanics that we're all kind of familiar with. So without further ado, let's kind of crack into this box here. So when you open the box, the first thing you're going to notice is you have two different colored decks. You have the orange and the green deck. I don't know why I did it backwards. This is orange and this one's green. So you have two different decks in this game. Alright, so what we're going to do is we take them out, and each player will be given either the orange deck or, I don't know why I keep saying it backwards, either the green deck or the orange deck. Either the green deck or the orange deck. And each one of these decks has the exact same cards as the other one does. So if this card has Kid Nitro, or if this deck has Kid Nitro, this deck's got Kid Nitro. They have the exact same amount of cards, and every single card is completely different. So, that being said, I'll just kind of put the orange deck aside. Alright, Kid Nitro himself, perfect. So, what you're looking at right now is a card that has three different options, and every single card is like this. You have a fighter option, which is this top half of the card, and then you have an action option, which is the one with the exclamation point, and then a trap option, which is the skull and crossbones. I'll kind of go through this really thoroughly so you guys understand. So the top half, you can play one card during your turn as a fighter. Only one fighter a turn, but you can play as many actions and traps as you'd like on your turn. But again, if you start to go through your deck too fast, you start to slowly kill yourself. So you need to be careful of what you're playing so you're not wiping yourself away. Now, if you do play it as a fighter, the two things that you need to be looking at are its power and its skill. As I said, it's kind of like War, so its power is 6. So in order to beat this 6, you need to have something that meets or beats the 6 power right there. If you meet it, the card is destroyed and it goes into the discard pile. If you beat it, the difference also attacks the opponent's energy, which is the deck itself. So if I was facing somebody like Kid Turbo here, not Kid Turbo, that's a bad example. We'll say Livewire. Alright, so if Kid Turbo or Kid Nitro attacks Livewire here, that's a total of 6 against 4. The difference, because Livewire is then discarded, the difference is 2, which means 2 cards come off the top of the deck, off of the opponent or the rival's deck, killing him extra. So you want to be kind of strategic in what you're playing. And the reason why I said Kid Nitro is Kid Turbo is a bad example is because he has a skill with the guard ability. And what guard allows him to do is it absorbs that damage. So if Kid Nitro attacks Kid Turbo has 5, and the difference is 1, but because he has the guard ability, which is that skill, that little shield right there, it absorbs that 1 damage, and actually all damage above any kind of difference. So even if Kid Nitro was doing 10 to Kid Turbo, he would absorb all the damage, and the rival's deck would not take any damage. Alright. Other fun abilities, just like Kid Nitro, he has this ability called Double Team, or Teamwork. what is it? I forgot already. It is double team. So pretty much what double team allows you to do is when you're trying to attack somebody, say Kid Nitro Plus here, Kid Nitro Plus is an 8. So if I was versing Kid Nitro Plus and I had Kid Nitro, I wouldn't be able to beat Kid Nitro Plus. But if I had the double team skill, which Kid Nitro has, let me kind of lay this out so someone's just holding all these cards all over the place. So if I have Kid Nitro out, unfortunately he can't do much because he's only a 5 or 6 power. But if I also used my Kid Turbo, who's also in play, that equals 11. And now I can use double team to take that 11 to attack Kid Nitro Plus. So that's how double team works. Kid Nitro Plus has a little megaphone here. And I'll kind of show you the reference card that references all these skills. There's only, I think, a total of 7 skills in the game. Yeah, I think there's only 7. So we have the guard skill, which, like I said, absorbs additional power from the enemy. And then we have the snipe skill, which means if there's a player with this snipe skill in play, anytime during your turn, you do an immediate 1 damage directly to the enemy's or to the rival's energy. Even if there's other fighters in play, it still does 1. And then Energize is kind of the opposite of that. Energize actually heals you 1. So you take 1 card from your discard pile and place it on the bottom of your deck, kind of healing you up. Double team, I've already talked about. Buff, if you have a fighter in play with the skill buff, that means all other ally fighters in play get +1 power, so it's buffing them up. Underneath that is the the little shocking bolt. Wrong side. That little lightning bolt right there, it's called stun, which means if you stun an enemy, say Kid Nitro was out, right here, yeah, and I was versing him with somebody who had stun, and my power was less than the Kid Nitro Plus was, we'll just say, alright, so Kid Nitro is a power of 6, but he has less power than Kid Nitro Plus. But if Kid Nitro had stun, I can actually stun Kid Nitro Plus, which means next turn he can't attack. So it's kind of a good defensive way of just getting people to not attack you on your turn and giving you time to rebuild your hand. And then the last one is Distract, which is the actual skill that Kid Nitro Plus has, which means it's kind of like Taunt if you've ever played Hearthstone. All you're doing is you have to kill somebody with the Distract skill prior to attacking anybody else in play. So you got to strategically plan all that fun stuff out. All right. So that being said, I'll kind of walk you guys through some of the cards. Pretty excited for a lot of these. So we have Weatherman. We have Lightspeed, which is awesome. He's kind of like a superhero kind of guy. We've got Sir Kills-a-Lot. Let me back this up a little. Sir Kills-a-Lot. Holiday. It's like a mixture of all these crazy holidays. We've got Hacker. Dr. Milk. Weed Killer. Razor Punk. Mucus. Agent 008. Green Fusion Bot. This one's actually a skill that I didn't kind of go through, but again, this is very similar to Yu-Gi-Oh! So when you, oh, I forgot to mention, so when you're playing fighters, they go out in front of you, and again, you can only play 1 at a time. You play as many actions as you want. When you play the action, they immediately get discarded, and the effect takes place. And in traps, they're played upside down on your playing field here, and you can play them when they're triggered, and of course it'll tell you at the bottom what triggers them. But the fusion bots are kind of crazy because they have this little fusion symbol here, which means you have to discard 2 cards of the color of this. So I'd have to discard Mucus and Weed Killer, because they're both green cards, in order to play this. But this is a power of 12, which is, this guy's a nasty dude, that's for sure. We have Survivalist. We have Penny, the only female in the game, but she also builds all the weapons for all the kids in the game. So Kid Nitro, Kid Ultra, Kid Echo, all these fun peeps. Kid Turbo. We have Heatstroke, Harvester, the Black Fusion Bot, the Red Fusion Bot, Plague, Tantrum, he's a baby. We have Rojo Taco, Zookeeper, White Fusion Bot, Laser Zone, Woodstock, here's Kid Echo, the Exorcist, Chop Suey, the Orange Fusion Bot, the Blue Fusion Bot, holy Fusion Bot Batman, Amazing Ace, Martianaut, King Pyramid, Sinister Sickle, Drill Bit, Butcher, Bluebeard, Purple Fusion Bot, Cluster Bomb, we have Father Omen, Mickey Finn, who's pretty much the bad guy, the villain in the Kid Nitro Universe. So he's a 10, which is extremely powerful, but he doesn't have a skill. So because he's so powerful, he just doesn't have any skills. We have Patches and Gridiron, and there's a couple other ones that, for whatever reason, I'm missing here. Oh, here's Projects. That's pretty cool. We'll go through these last few here. We have the Yellow Fusion Bot. We have Tomahawk, Blasphemy, Aftershock, Cerebral, Mad Maniac, which is a cross between Jason, Freddy Krueger, and then the blue jumpsuit, of course, is Michael Myers, so I wanted to try to make it somewhat fun. And Six Shooter. So those are pretty much the main guys. Here's Kid Ultra. He's the one with the bazooka. It's good times for everybody. But yeah, so that is Retro Rumble. So what I'm actually working on right now is I just realized that I do have some more room in this box for 8 more of these fighters. So that being said, YouTube, I'm looking for you. I have 8 fighters to fill some slots, and I was wondering if you guys can possibly help me out with some ideas. Of course, you've seen a lot of these. I've got all sorts of different professions to weird things like Mucus or Zookeeper. I've got the kids from the Kid Nitro Universe, so I have all sorts of different ideas that are playing around. I've got cowboys, I've got Indians, I've got astronauts. I mean, I'm really trying to come up with some really cool, clever ideas, and I'm running low on thoughts. So I'm coming to you. What do you guys think should be in this game? What would you like to see? I mean, I'm down for pretty much anything. I mean, I've got a chef in the game, I've got a psychic, I've got all those robots. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff in here, but I would love to see more. 8 more slots. YouTube, what can you possibly come up with to throw into those 8 spots? Because I'm definitely excited to do 8 more of these cards, and then after that, that's it. I do not want to do any more. Like I said, I want this to be a small game like Flux, where you just grab a deck of cards, and you just play with a friend. So I'm very excited for this game. If you guys are excited about this game, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm beyond thrilled. This game is played so quickly, but so amazingly. I played a game earlier, and I was losing, or I was actually winning big time. I was like, there's no way this other person's gonna come out ahead. And they played a card, and I was like, oh, they're totally done. But it was that guard ability. So I was like, well, I can only damage them and kill them, but they're not. I can't absorb. Or they're absorbing all the damage. So then I was like, well, I don't know what I could do. I'll see what I could possibly do. So I end up killing him and attacking him with a weaker dude for only like 3 damage, I think. And then he came back with some crazy combo of cards that actually killed my 2 dudes at once, and then threw in all of this stuff from some of those action cards. So he played this amazing card. It was Survivalist. And then he played Woodstock, which buffs him up 8 because Survivalist is only a 1, and Woodstock buffs him up even more if he's a level or a power of 1 or 2. Oh, it was crazy. And then he just obliterated all my guys. So it's pretty awesome. And then he was doing these the fusions with the fusion bots. Towards the end, I was like, I can't keep up. And then I started wiping his stuff out. It's such a balanced game. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but this game is pretty good. Like, it is pretty good. So definitely check it out. I need 8 ideas for some awesome cards. So please, 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 in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys want to see in here. Because I'll put it in here. I'll do it. I'll do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Sorry for the long wait, but I'm hoping that Retro Rumble is a hit. I mean, it's fun. It's fun stuff. Alright everybody, thanks for watching, and you guys have a great rest of your weekend.